Chris Maistrellis is a bicycle fanatic. He's a veteran mountain biker, and over the last several years he's been a sought-after mechanic in many of the top bike shops in San Francisco, like Mojo. Part of his job has always been teaching people how to wear bike helmets, but he didn't always follow his own advice. And on July 16, 2003, while flying down a hill in the city, his luck ran out.
As I was heading down Castro, I had no helmet and no lights on my bike. Obviously a really bad idea. And a cab took a left turn out of a gas station that was there, which you weren't supposed to take. So that was part of the deal. He hit me dead on, and I flew down the street probably about 25 feet and landed on my head.
Chris suffered extensive brain damage and spent a couple of months in the hospital. In his basement, he still keeps what's left of his favorite bike.
So this is the bike that I was on when I got hit by a cab. Pretty badly dented. It's a really durable frame.
I think I was so tough that I could ride my bike wherever I wanted. I didn't need lights or a helmet because, yes, I kind of felt indestructible. I usually just didn't want to wear it because it's too much of a pain and remembering and stuff. I thought it didn't look all that cool, and they got really sweaty. But obviously none of those are good reasons. Of course, I've learned my lesson the hard way. There was just a really good chance that I actually wasn't going to make it out of it, and apparently like 90% of the people who get involved in the kind of accident I did either die or do not come back normal, especially mentally.
Chris underwent a series of successful brain surgeries with his wife by his side, but the accident left him with vision and hearing problems, as well as a seizure disorder that requires him to take numerous pills every day. He was also robbed of basic math skills and his love of creative writing.
Mathematics, I can add and divide, but I can't really do any division. Any large numbers, I have trouble dealing with. I usually just have somebody help me. My writing, I can probably get in a sentence or two, maybe, and the rest of it is just scribble. My writing used to be a big part of my life.
Although Chris can no longer write like he used to, he was able to return to his job as a bike mechanic, though only part-time.
Grand total right now, I'm probably working about 2 to 3 days a week. And pretty much lucky to be working at all this right now. Unfortunately, I get a little nervous when I spend that much time working and dealing with customers and working on something for too long. It's too much anxiety for me. I spend a lot of my time at home taking care of our cats, which has worked out pretty well for me and the cats.
Chris misses his beloved mountain biking, but the risk of another accident makes it too dangerous.
I used to be a pretty avid mountain biker, riding on some of the harder trails around here, and I raced a couple times, but those days are over for me.
Despite his trauma and what he has lost, Chris feels like a lucky man. Now when he does ride, he always uses a helmet, and he hopes his story will convince other people to do so too.
Granted, the cab made a pretty big mistake, but so did I. Those two things came together at a really bad time, but I lived, and I'm pretty much the same as I was before. Granted, I have the people write things out for me when I go to the post office or when I'm writing out a repair tag, but I think everything should be okay. And I really want people to understand that despite all the mistakes I've made and so on and so forth, that I can at least let other people know what not to do and what mistakes not to make.